I'm Suzanne Neuman, and welcome to my kitchen. So you can find the recipe for the communion bread in the Cooking with Faith cookbook if you have that at home. Or we'll show it at the end of this video and you can just pause and take a good long look at it. So here's what we're going to need to make the communion bread. First, you need 2 cups of whole wheat flour and 1 cup of white flour. I've already combined them in this bowl. You need a teaspoon and a quarter of baking powder, a teaspoon and a quarter of salt, a tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of oil. I used vegetable oil. I thought olive oil might have a little too much flavor to it. A very hot 3/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of water. You'll have to put that in your microwave for a minute or a minute and a half. 3 tablespoons of honey, 3 tablespoons of molasses, and then for later, a little bit of the oil plus a pastry brush to brush on the bread. So let's get started mixing. First, we want to put all the dry ingredients in a bowl. So the 2 types of flour, the baking powder, come on. Doesn't want to come out. There we go. And the salt. I think I'll give them just a little zhuzh to mix them up. But here comes the fun part. You need to sift the dry ingredients 3 times. So I'm using an old sifter that I found in my grandmother's house. It's probably from the 1920s. So that's pretty cool. I'm using it because it's a little bigger, but you might have one of these at home, or you could also use just like a colander and just smack it on the side, but I am going to, some got in the bowl, that's probably okay. And then we sift. The next step is to put the oil into the now very well sifted flour and other dry ingredients. It says to cut in. The term cut in I usually use only with like a shortening or a actual butter, but it works with this too. I'm using a pastry hoodocky, I don't even know what they're called, to mix it up, but you could use a fork or a spoon or whatever. So I'm just gonna put that in and just make sure it gets distributed nicely. Okay, I think that's good. Now I'm going to put that aside. And here I have the water that just came out of the microwave, nice and hot, and I'm going to put the wet ingredients in. So first I have my honey.
That's me.
It's very sticky. And the molasses. And just mix it really well. So now we want to pour the wet ingredients that we have just mixed with the dry ingredients and then knead it a little bit. So I'll pour that in. And then you can get your hands in there and knead it. Ooh, a little hot. It's kind of therapeutic. It feels really good on my arthritis. But this is the fun part. So kind of do this. Let it get mixed. Oops. And it gets very sticky. That little piece that escaped. Okay, when it's all mixed, you might need a little extra flour on your hands for this next part. So just getting my hands a little floured here. There, that's good. All right, when it's all mixed, you want to break it into 4 equal parts, or, you know, they don't have to be perfect. As equal as you can get them, I guess. All right, take a little flour. And you can just make a little round bit with your hands, about, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch thick or so. Get it nice and round. And on each one, you want to take a knife and make some score marks. Probably 6 or 8. And you want to do that to all 4 of your dough balls. So now we're ready to put them in the oven. You should have turned your oven on and preheated it to 350. And we just pop them in. And you're going to want to put them in for 10 minutes for the first cook. There, I'll see you in 10 minutes. So now, after 10 minutes, we take them out of the oven. Ooh, they're starting to look good, and it's starting to smell good too. And all you want to do is take a pastry brush and brush a little oil on the top, just to make it nice and pretty and crisp it up on the top a little bit. And you pop it back in the oven for 5 to 8 minutes. I know I have to do a little longer because my oven's a little cooler, but so I will see you in another 5 to 8 minutes. And now we're ready to take it out of the oven. Oh, it smells so good. Now you just need to let them cool a little bit. And there is your communion bread. And blessed Easter to you all.